and welcome to Mission Alive. This week we have celebrated the death of two great women who went to Papua New Guinea from Australia in the early 60s. One of them was Sister Mario. We celebrated her death because of the life she had lived. The life she had lived meant that she had heard God say, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the place I have prepared for you." So what was her life like? She was a nurse. I was a teacher. Each weekend I would spend time preparing lessons. I knew what I had to do for the coming week. I'd have it all ready. But nurses couldn't prepare. They didn't know what was coming this week. An arrow, a stonefish biting, stinging somebody's foot, somebody putting their foot on volcanic soil and going through into the boiling sulfur. All sorts of things could happen. Children playing at school, breaking an arm, breaking a leg, and they had to deal with it, no preparation. So one time Sister Maria was on a station Oval down the east coast of West New Britain, and it could only be reached by boat. No roads, no airstrip, just boats. And whenever you went from Rabaul to Uvon, it was always a rough trip. Sister Maria was there, and an old woman died. And Sister Mario and the village people were puzzled. Nobody knew why this woman had died. She had no symptoms of any sickness that Sister Mario knew. A couple of days later, a young child died, exactly the same. The people were really puzzled. They were really getting frightened because nobody knew how this little child had died. For Sister Mario, no symptoms of any illness that she knew. So she rang the doctor at the main office in Rabaul and told him what had happened. And he said, "Well, I'll come down." So he came down. And of course you can't get somebody to die just because he's a doctor there. So nothing happened much at the hospital, but the doctor watched as Sister Mario served the people, giving medicine, giving injections, delivering babies. And then one day suddenly the boys came and said, "Sister, come quick, you're needed at the top of the mountain." The doctor said, "I'll come with you." He didn't know what he was saying because he'd never been there before, but going up that mountain was Sister Mario's everyday work. She went up that mountain with no trouble. The doctor came behind with his stick, huffing and puffing. And eventually they got to the top and Sister Mario realised this woman had to come to hospital. So the men made a stretcher and put the woman on, and Sister Mario said to one of the boys, "Climb the coconut tree and cut down a coconut." So he cut down the coconut in the big husk and then cut off the top and made a small hole into the milk, into the water, the coconut water, and Sister Mario put a tube into there and then an intravenous drip into the woman's arm. The doctor was amazed, but this coconut water was sterile. It had never had air, it had never had anything into it. It had been totally sealed inside the coconut husk and the coconut shell. So Sister Maria brought the woman down to the hospital, and there she treated her and saved the life of the woman and the baby. The doctor was really amazed, and he said to Sister, "Have you got enough supplies for all the things you do?" And she said, "Oh no, we are very short of supplies. Every time I ask for them, I never get them." He said, "Sister, when I go back, you will get the supplies you need." So when he went back to the main stores, he said, "Any time Sister Mario asks for medication, whatever medication it is, even it's medication reserved only for the use of the doctor, you are to send it to her. She is doing the work of a doctor, a woman trained as a nurse doing the work of a doctor." He was totally amazed. And of course all our nursing sisters in Papua New Guinea did the same. The sisters that I lived always amazed me at the wonderful things they did and how many lives they saved. So that's how the sisters lived and worked in Papua New Guinea. They had nothing. They didn't get supplies. Nobody thought how marvellous they were for doing what they did, and they didn't think how marvellous they were. But when somebody dies, you begin to look back and see what they have done, how their life has served others. Every one of us has to make our lives serve others. So make sure this week you do something to serve others. It won't save their life, most likely, but it will make them happier than they are. Do something to help and serve others. Goodbye for now. God bless you